Absolutely fantastic, guys. It's so incredible. I love the music. This is a great night. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome in if you're just joining us. This is our band show. I'm your host, Christian Ivanko. Episode 22. We're joined with Jack Manley and his amazing band. Welcome to the show, gentlemen.
Thank you so much. Thanks for having us.
Of course. I mean, that was an incredible opening set. The longest opening set in our band show's short, but very prolific history so far. And just a powerhouse first batch of tunes. Thank you guys so much for coming on. I've been jamming all day. It's actually been really hard to mix you guys because I have to keep reminding myself, all right, you have a job to do. It's very enjoyable. And I really dig the tune. So we're just thrilled to have you here. So thank you again.
That's awesome to hear. Yeah. Yeah. We want people to get lost in our music, so that's good.
For sure. And it definitely has that effect. There's many layers to it, which we will discuss throughout the course of this evening. And before we jump into this first interview, I do want to thank all the folks watching at home. There's quite a number of you in the chat. Welcome to the show as well. We appreciate the amazing community of music lovers that come and support month in and month out here at our band show. In case you're just joining us, we are a monthly live stream, and then we take clips and songs and moments from this episode and others and post them on our channel all throughout the month. So there's always something great happening here at our band show, and we hope that you'll subscribe, share this video with a friend. Not only will it help us, most importantly, it will help the band and all of our other past great artists. So thank you guys so much for being here. And as I discussed with the chat, Jack, I'm so sorry we didn't have time to include you in on this. You were just rocking out too hard. We're dropping lollipops in the chat tonight because this is a very sweet episode. You guys make very sweet, amazing music. So we're dropping lollipops in the chat to show you guys support. I hope that's okay with you guys.
I like that. Is that like a trend or something I'm not aware of? I don't know.
It is. We pick an emoji every episode.
Okay.
And normally we discuss it before going live. But like I said, I've just been so lost in the tunes that I kind of just had to wing that one, and I was thinking, well, this is really sweet music, so let's drop some lollipop emojis in the chat.
I actually really like that.
Yeah,
I think that's pretty sweet.
Okay, good. I'm glad. I feel
thoughtful.
less bad then about making the executive decision there, if you will. But we're going to have a great evening, guys. And so like I said, let's get into it, Jack. Let's talk about the origin story, if you will. You have quite a storied history. You've been in many bands in the past. You've written many songs. Where do you want to begin? What can you tell all of us who are just meeting you for the first time?
Yeah, definitely have a storied past at this point. I've been playing music for a bit now. I mean, I spent a lot of time and effort with some old friends in a band called Cosmonaut. We faced a lot of challenges. I'll just put it that way. And it brings us here now with my current band, which I still have the same role as like singer, guitar, but yeah, it's far more personal in that the way these songs were sort of birthed from a very intense experience. I don't know. I don't know if that answers your question.
It kind of does, but it leaves me wanting more. Cosmonaut's great. We were discussing on our pre-meeting when we first met how I should go check the tunes out. I told you I love the album. Hurry Up, I believe it was called, right?
Yes. Hurry Up was the first record we made.
I would encourage folks to go back and listen. I hear some similarities. I think you have a very unique sound. However, it's also was interesting for me to hear the progression of Jack Manley's sound from that effort with Cosmonaut to now. There are some common tonalities, but I really do see growth and change in your songwriting, and I enjoy both equally. So it was really cool to get that kind of experience. I'd encourage everyone at home to go and give it a listen as well. After the stream, of course.
Yeah. No, I thank you first off, but yeah, I mean, I think those songs hold up, and it's funny because that was literally the first batch of songs I ever wrote in my life.
How old were you at the time?
I was a freshman in college, I believe. So like however old you are at that stage in your life, I don't know. And
have you been playing music for longer than that? Was that your first time branching out into songwriting?
That was my first time, yeah. So I started pretty late. I started in college, essentially.
Third Eye Blind.
Oh, yeah? Is that their deal?
That is their deal, yeah.
Oh, man. That first record's amazing. It holds up.
And so is yours. So talk to me about those early days writing tunes as a freshman.
Gosh, I mean, I just remember being in the Fordham dorms. I remember, working so hard to just like try to have any sort of coordination or anything. I was just so bad. I was so green, as they say, but I had so much drive, and it worked, And also, I have to say, particularly with Cosmonaut, I was surrounded by a group of guys who were really, really good, like really masters of their musicians, just like, my current band. So that sort of helped, I think develop me rapidly. I
was going to say, it seems like a common theme.
Yeah, definitely. Well, I tend to try and surround myself with talented people, because when you're not talented, you need support, right?
I beg to differ, but I get the point.
No, yeah. But yeah, no, it's great. Like, I mean, for instance, now, right? Like, I have no sort of formal education or background with music. It's completely intuitive approach and self-taught. Whereas, Billy here is like classically trained. So, it's a nice. I think those two worlds colliding complement each other creatively.
So you gave it a good run in the early days. We were talking, you had a little attention from labels. You had some really cool press write-ups.
Yeah, definitely. No, Cosmonaut was my life. I mean, I love that band.
Did you drop out of school to pursue that full time?
No, I was going to. I wanted to. But we just sort of developed it. I was lucky enough to graduate with, a degree in philosophy.
You got the Rivers Cuomo treatment then.
Yeah, exactly.
Nice.
And yeah, I mean, we played a lot of great shows. We wrote a lot of great songs. We made a lot of unreleased material that people will probably never hear. And, unfortunately, the relationship soured. I was getting more and more dependent on, substances, which I didn't realize at the time. And, it's sad. I'm not in touch with any of those guys. I'll just put it that way. We haven't been in communication for years. So it's like, it's pretty sad, actually. But yeah, a lot of work in artistry in Cosmonaut, and I agree. I think people should check it out. Yeah, it's hard to talk about.
Understandable. Appreciate you being so open about that. So we were talking about how you've always been surrounded by incredible talent. How'd you meet the guys that are performing with you this evening?
Yeah, for sure. Well, Billy here has been a friend since we were kids, which is really nice because I feel like that kind of connection is super rare. And I don't know, it's just like, it's just comfortable. And yeah, we lived together in the city for a brief period of time. Yeah. Basically, we reconnected when I got out of the hospital in Poughkeepsie not too long ago. We started playing music at the Colony Cafe's open mic, and that's how we got connected to these guys, to Noah and Josiah, who we're playing with right now.
So you were just out there just testing songs, and then you just happened to meet people in your community.
Yeah, it was easy as that. I mean, it was really, honestly, the songs. Like, we played this song called Smackwater, which is out. We have a music video out for it. And people just really like overwhelmingly responded to it, including Noah, who here on drums. So yeah, I don't know. The music sort of spoke for itself, I guess, because clearly I'm not capable of doing it. So
no, I think it's great. I love the tunes, like I said, and they're very emotional, but they're also easy to listen to, which I find to be a strange but lovable dichotomy. About the songs.
Definitely. I mean, it's not super conscious of a choice, but we're definitely trying to write engaging, catchy music with an edge. And, it's just, I think, really naturally what comes out. You write what you know about, right? And unfortunately, we know about some nice things and some not so nice things.
Yeah.
And yeah, I mean, my experience, with the hospital and all that is, it really informed our music.
Yeah, you said that you wrote a lot of the songs we're hearing tonight from the hospital bed. Am I phrasing that correctly?
Yeah, I mean, essentially, so yeah, like Smackwater, Tightrope Life, Save Your Own, and Unmeasurable Terms. So our debut EP, which is out now, Unmeasurable Terms, all of those songs were written while I was recovering from 2 overdoses and hospitalized in Poughkeepsie, New York. Basically had quit playing music, pawned or gave away most of my gear. And while I was there was, I found a broken 4-string guitar, and basically other patients were bored and wanted entertainment, so they encouraged me to play, and I started to play for them, and then it sort of escalated from there. Like I remember writing Smackwater and turning around after performing it in a cafeteria, and like 5 people were crying. It was just pretty surreal. And there was like no entertainment there. There was a TV with a VHS player with Silence of the Lambs and Tremors and Volcano. That was it. And like, you know what I mean? And we couldn't go outside. It was basically like, a wing of a hospital, like a psych ward.
What a triple bill that is.
Yeah, man. I watched those movies a lot. But it was tough because, I was recovering from these overdoses, and I couldn't really read. I could barely talk. So when eventually I started playing the guitar, I really sort of had to approach it as like a beginner again, and also embrace the limitation of missing 2 strings. So yeah, I don't know. I feel like the EP is it's just a very honest reflection of that whole experience, especially lyrically. Yeah.
Well, I think all of us appreciate you sharing that. I think it's going to make listening to these songs even more special, getting to know on such a personal level the meaning. So I don't want to keep the audience any longer from these beautiful tunes. Would you do us the pleasure of taking us into the next set, Jack?
Absolutely. Thank you. Yeah, we're going to play some new songs, some unreleased songs. This one's called Miles and Miles Away.